Hey everybody, welcome back to Absolutely PlayStation and Steam Gamers. I'm Dylan, that's Houston, and that's Shank, and today we're going to talk about some news stuff. Our first topic is going to be about some shenanigans that Ghost of Tsushima people are doing. Yes. But we're also going to talk about the new Nintendo Switch. There's a new Star Wars The Old Republic expansion, a new Assassin's Creed live service game. We're going to briefly touch on that, and the PlayStation Plus games. That's the last thing that we'll touch on. But so the first thing is essentially the Ghost of Tsushima is getting a director's cut, and what it boils down to once you do all the math is that if you get it on PS5, you will be paying an extra $10 premium that you will not have to pay if you get it anywhere else. So, what thoughts? I think that's a little scummy.
Oh, it is. I get it. At the same time, PlayStation 5 games are now more expensive.
Right.
But if you're basically offering the same thing on PS4, why am I paying $10 more?
Yeah.
So I was reading through the article, and it mentioned that the PS5 version is getting features that the PS4 version doesn't get. Now, granted, some of this stuff is like their new DualSense haptic feedback controller integration, which obviously the PS4 can't get.
Yeah.
Graphics updates that the PS4 can't get. And I believe it said some type of music, some type of like upgrade to the audio.
3D audio, which like the thing, those three things, the haptic feedback I could see because that is extra time that they have to go in and program. I assume I think the haptic feedback actually might just work through an audio file, which I'm not sure the specifics of it. I think that's how it works, is they just program an audio file and it reads the waveforms and rumbles the motor based on that. But 3D audio, that's just like 3D audio and the like frame rate upgrade, the other thing, like the three PS5 features are it runs at 4K 60, 3D audio, and the haptic feedback on the DualSense, which
right, basically
those three things are just like, yeah, it's just what the PS5 can do. So like spending 10 more extra dollars for that seems like a lot. Like I get spending $20 for an upgrade to a director's cut, which includes all of the DLC previously and a new area.
But the issue is that the PS4 is getting that stuff for $20.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the thing though is the previous DLC was already free.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there was no paid DLC.
What previous DLC are they talking about?
The multiplayer.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I got that with the game.
Yeah, it was free. It was 100% free. So literally, you're paying for those three things and the new island.
Yeah, so they're selling Icky Island for $20 on the PS4 and then $30 on the PS5
because it adds a couple features, which they did all of that anyway, and then took it out for the PS4 version. It's not like they did extra work.
Because it's like it's just stuff that like if you developed, it's bad press either way, right? Because if you developed the PS5 versions, charged $20 for it, and didn't put in 3D audio, the DualSense, and the frame rate upgrade, which wouldn't make any sense because that's just unlocking the frame rate. I'm sure they're not. I don't think they're improving the graphics. I think it just runs better. Because it would run better on the PS5.
Everybody would be up in arms if they didn't do that stuff. That's what the PS5 is for.
Yeah. So it's very strange that they would... I mean, not strange. Like, they want more money. They're going to charge more money for it. But, like, $30 for an upgrade is, like... That's a lot, even if it was, like, a DLC. And it was just... like, maybe it is a big DLC, but the fact that it's the same price, or the different price on PS4 is weird.
That's where I fall on this. The $10 difference is scummy, but I'm more concerned with whether or not the Icky Island, however you pronounce it, is going to be a substantial DLC, or is it going to be 5 hours worth of gameplay? Because I can justify $30 for another 15 hours of gameplay.
I doubt you're going to get... Well, you'll get that if you're okay, saving towns from Mongols and finding 5 more colors for your swords and dyes.
Listen, sir, that is what I do, okay?
I understand that, but is that $30 worth of content?
I mean, I don't know, Houston. That's the question I'm posting. I can justify the $30 if there's a substantial DLC. I can't be okay with the price difference. Obviously,
right.
It's a scummy tactic.
That's the thing is, like, they're saying that the DLC is worth $20 and playing the game at 4K 60 with 3D audio and haptic feedback is worth $10, which is half of the DLC. So it's just like that's too much. That like it's just not like if you just said the DLC is worth $30 and you charge $30 for both, I don't think anyone like obviously people would be like that might be too much, but this like penny pinching discussion would not be
right. That was a much more eloquent way to say what I was saying. Like it's not the $30 that is the issue. It's the price difference, especially when the price difference is what 33% of the entire DLC purchase. Like it's half
ridiculous. of the price of the whole game.
Right.
So
in all honesty, I don't see a reason to upgrade to the PS5 version.
4K 60 is big for I think that's
for $10 big.
Sure, I would say like it would be for me. If I guess it depends on if does the original one on PS4 does it run at 1080 60 or does it run at like 1080 30? Do we know?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
I imagine it has.
We've had this discussion before. My eye isn't sharp enough to catch a lot of this stuff unless I'm playing FPSs. Fair. Like I look for a good story. I look for a good story in games and good gameplay before I start worrying about the technical. I know you're much more like technically focused on like how the game sounds, how the game looks, that type of stuff. That kind of stuff is like window dressing for me. Like it's nice. I appreciate it, but it isn't make or break for me.
Yeah, I get that. But that's like, I guess it depends on the person because I would definitely I would pay the extra $10 for the game to play it on PS5 with better hardware. But I definitely wouldn't pay an extra $10 on a DLC to get the upgrade for, if I already have the PS5 version, I don't want to pay $30 when PS4 people are paying $20.
This is the only PS5 version.
Right.
So.
But what I'm saying is like, because I think, maybe I read it wrong, but I think if you already have the PS5 version, PS4. That's right. You're saying.
You have the PS4 and you can upgrade to the PS5 version for $30.
Gotcha.
Or get the upgrade to the director's cut for $20 and keep it on PlayStation.
So the director's cut is the only one that has been released on the PS5.
Yes.
Correct? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So if you don't own the game, it's $60, which I mean, I'm going to sound like a hypocrite now. That's on par for PS5 games. Every PS5 game's been $60.
They've been $70.
That's what I mean. 70. I mean 70.
Okay.
Sorry. It's $69.99. I read the PS4 price first, and that got stuck in my head.
Fair.
So I guess it makes sense. I can't give them too much crap. They're selling the PS5 director's cut for $70.
Okay, so moving on from Ghost of Tsushima stuff, it's don't do that. Stop it. I think that's we agree on that.
I can't give them too much crap. They're not the only ones doing it. Looking at you, Nintendo.
Disagree.
Yeah.
Disagree. Give them crap for it.
Give them all crap.
But they're not the only company doing it.
Complain about everything all the time.
Exactly. So I don't know much about this, but Assassin's Creed, what is it called? Infinity?
Assassin's Creed Infinity. Me and Benny have a discussion going up. I don't know if it will be before this, after this, whatever. But basically, the Assassin's Creed studios are getting together to collaborate on one giant live service project. That's all we know. There's speculations out there. Everything. So we'll see when they announce more, but it's a leak of a leak, and then Ubisoft's finally like, all right, yeah, it's a thing. It's coming. These studios are all working on it. Good luck. All right. Moving on.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what they said. They didn't give any real information.
That makes sense. I feel like that it definitely seems like their hand was forced just because of all the leaks.
Yeah, it's just like, yes, it's a thing.
Because I think we talked about this we talked about the idea of an Assassin's Creed live service on a podcast a couple weeks ago. And I think it's a good idea just based on, because I remember talking about that. Like, I don't play a lot of Assassin's Creed games, but the model that they've been doing as of late seems like it would really fit for like just a live service, like kind of like ESO, where they just keep expanding the world with like worlds from other games or like their own worlds and just new stories and stuff. So that works for me.
I think any game that has become as annualized as Assassin's Creed or Call of Duty should just give in, make it a live service. Don't make me keep repurchasing a new game. And that's essentially what it has been since the beginning. It's been a live service. It's just you don't have access to the old content.
Right.
Which is usually what happens in a live service after enough years have passed. So I think it's perfect for Assassin's Creed.
Same.
I mean,
cool.
If you want further discussion, go check out Huey and Benny's discussion about this, but I think we all agree it's long overdue, right?
Yeah. It seems cool, and there's not really much else to say about it, because
my big concern though is too many cooks in the kitchen with 3 studios working on it.
Yeah, valid.
But
I mean, who knows? One studio could be in charge of the PvE content, one studio could be PvP, and one studio could be like the marketplace. Yeah. They're all just working in separate departments.
It's just a concern right now because literally they said nothing other than that.
Right. Like you gotta talk about something, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on from that, we have. Did any of you guys play Star Wars: The Old Republic?
Yes.
Religiously I did not. But I'm a big Star Wars fan, so I imagine at some point I'm going to get to it.
Yeah, I think this might be a good time to do it. So I played it for, I think, 5 years. On and off for like the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. I think for the first like 3.5, 4 years of that was like my daily game. It was my first like real MMO, if you don't count MapleStory, which I usually don't.
MapleStory.
You count MapleStory? It was just like my first like Western like WoW style MMO.
Did you enjoy MapleStory?
I loved MapleStory.
Then I count MapleStory.
Okay, fair. So it was my second MMO. Okay. If you don't count the 20 minutes I played of WoW before I played Tor.
It's your third MMO.
It's my third MMO. If you don't count the time I rented Final Fantasy 11.
All right, it's your
fourth
MMO. All right, so Star Wars: The Old Republic was my fourth MMO, and now they have a new expansion coming out called Legacy of the Sith. So I'm gonna read this little blurb real quick and see what piques your guys' interest, because there's one thing specifically in here that they gave more information on that seems interesting. It says, "We are thrilled to announce the next era for Star Wars: The Old Republic. This year-long celebration of our 10th anniversary kicks off with Legacy of the Sith, a new expansion that marks the starting point to a full year of galactic intrigue, conflict, and mystery. Legacy of the Sith will send players to the darkest depths and farthest reaches of the galaxy and unlock the ability to choose your personal combat style, allowing for more options than ever before when it comes to living and breathing your own Star Wars fantasy."
That
Thoughts?
End is what piqued my interest.
Which part?
That basically choose your combat style.
Yeah.
Are they going the ESO method now? And if so, they got me back.
I haven't played ESO, so what
It's
you
Elder
referring to?
Scrolls, just like Elder Scrolls. You want to be a healer that uses a bow and is a werewolf? By all means, do it. You're not going to be effective, but you can do it.
So my question is, what is the combat like in Star Wars: The Old Republic? Is it
World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
World of Warcraft,
14.
Final Fantasy 14.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like even less so than 14. Like it is essentially identical to WoW, in the way that it's set up and the combat. Because like 14 is a little different, but I think based on the more information, which I'll read in a second, I think it's the 14 job system is what they're hinting towards. So it says here later.
14 does a lot right, and if I could get a Star Wars game that has a job system like 14, that has a raid system like 14, you guys might not be hearing anything about Destiny for a while, because I might be I might be obsessively playing this game, because
It's just my normal problem with MMOs is the leveling system for WoW and this too. It's like I have to be another character.
Right. And 14 solves that. So let me see what you guys make of this. So it says, introducing combat styles. Players can now separate their class story from gameplay style for an even greater customization experience. This frees up advanced class options as characters can choose any advanced class within the tech or force playstyle. Play as a trooper wielding a sniper rifle, or a Sith Inquisitor with a lightsaber in each hand, or even secretly use dark side powers while posing as a member of the Jedi Order. Loadouts will increase your ability to customize, allowing you to swap between playstyles and gear with a click. So that to me sounds like it's the 14 job system split in half.
In half. So if you're a Jedi, you only get the force powers and all that. If you're the trooper and whatnot, you get those classes, so bounty hunters and all that.
But I wonder how being a undercover Sith would work, because they can't give you more force powers just because you're on the light and dark side of the force, right?
Well, there's a alignment system in that game which meant nothing.
There is. Correct.
So well, now might mean something. Okay.
You could buy things from vendors, depending on how evil or good you are.
But other than that, it meant nothing. So now the alignment system might actually mean something.
I'm more discussing or thinking about how that would affect gameplay in raids. Because if you have all the light side... I need to raise my hands up when I do this. If you have all the light side... force powers, and then all of a sudden you're saying, well, I'm posing as a Jedi, but I'm actually a Sith, and I have dark side force powers. Does that not immediately expand your kit to...
Yes and no.
Yeah. The interesting thing is, so for those that don't know, in the Old Republic, there's essentially 8 classes. There are technically 16, but they're just mirrored. So there's 4 base classes, 2 advanced classes of those for each side, but they're the same across the Republic and the Empire. But that is interesting, because it would make more sense to me, if you choose tech and you get to be a trooper and you can swap your weapon. Because the example they show here is they show a trooper, a trooper armor with the pistols of a gunslinger, the single pistol of a smuggler, or a scout, the sniper rifle of whatever that class is called. It's been a while. He's got the big gun that the commando has, and that would make sense to me. But the part where it says you can be a dark side user posing as a member of the Jedi Order, are they getting rid of factions as well? Have they already done that? And I don't know.
I don't know. I guess that's
the while.
Right. I guess that's the only thing I'm focusing on. Just having played 14, that was the one sentence you said where I'm like, wait, how would that work? Because I get different jobs would have different things that they're good at, but if you're able to straddle that line, how do you do that and maintain a system, a semblance of balance, gameplay wise, not in the Force. Balance gameplay wise.
Just I'm going to bring ESO back up, because like I said, you could be a healer that wields a bow and is a werewolf. You're useless as a healer. You're useless as a DPS too. So you might be able to build your character any way you want using light and dark powers, but that doesn't make you effective.
So your rotation would basically be poop.
Yeah.
Because you have access to half and half, but you don't have access to any of the big. I think that could work, and I think nobody would do that. Nobody would straddle, unless there was a benefit to it. But
I also see something that I really wanted them to do way back when I played this game was, because the advanced classes mirrored themselves, I really wanted to be able to play my main, which was a Jedi Sage, and if I wanted to, instead of throwing rocks, I started shooting lightning, which was
exactly what I was going to say next.
Version. Yeah. So I think that is a way, because they're saying you can secretly use dark side powers while posing as a member of the Jedi Order. That might just be fancy flavor text to say, you're a Jedi Sage as your class, but now you shoot lightning instead. It just changes the animation.
Instead of yeeting rocks at people, you're yeeting lightning.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which this could actually open up. Something that I really wish they had done back then is in the marketplace, sell different cosmetics for your abilities, like different animations you could buy, which I think would be neat. It would probably be messy in PvP, but maybe you just can't use them in PvP.
I don't see it being messy, really.
Well, it's hard to like.
I stand by what I always say. Don't worry about PvP and MMOs. PvP is a side.
Yeah, I sort of agree, but this is definitely super interesting to me, especially as someone who played Tor for so long. It's I feel like it's a little too late. I don't play. I tried to get back into this game because a couple of my buddies got into it like a couple months ago, but they didn't stick around, and now they're on 14. So I'm back on 14. So it seems like that's the way that everyone is going. So it's I don't know, but I am like they had an expansion before this that I didn't check out. I didn't really read into it, but this interests me. This is really intriguing to me, and I'll probably look into it at least for a month just to be like, hey, how does this system actually work? Because it's cool. The next, this is just a quick thing. The Witcher Monster Slayer, which is the augmented reality Witcher mobile game, is coming out July 21st. That was announced. So I don't.
11 days from when we're recording this.
Yeah. So Shank, you like The Witcher. What do you think about this?
Huey, you like mobile games. What do you think of this?
Defer to defer.
I'm not gonna play it.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to play it, but I'm not going to play it for long.
I'll probably download it, try it out, but Pokemon Go's got the augmented reality gaming.
Okay, so it's a Pokemon Go, just straight up augmented reality.
I'm guessing
If
it's augmented reality, I would assume that's exactly what they mean. You're fighting Witcher monsters.
Oh, that's depressing. I was hoping more it was like a mobile version of Witcher. Kind of like Nier. What's the new Nier? There's a new Nier. Rebirth or
something.
Something.
It comes out the 28th is all I know.
Nope.
Right. Like there's a new mobile version of Nier that hopefully will get me into playing mobile games more.
Well, if you want the story of Nier, it's gotta.
Yeah.
Because it's canon.
Well, right. But I guess that's my point is like,
Yeah.
hey, if there's a mobile version of The Witcher, there's an audience for mobile games.
There is.
If there's an audience for The Witcher. Let's see if those
I know
overlap at all.
people hate to hear this, but mobile gaming is one of the biggest gaming markets out there right now.
It's true.
Like
I don't hate to hear it. I just don't participate in it.
Yeah. More people play mobile games than console and PC games now.
Because everybody got a phone. Not everybody's got a computer.
Yeah, that's the real reason why. Mm-hmm. Also, you can do it on the go, which helps.
That's true. Speaking of gaming on the go, thank you, Shank, for setting that up for me. There's
Out of the park.
Hell yeah. There's a new Nintendo Switch model, and it's called Nintendo Switch OLED model. What a name. So the bullet points of this, it's a new Nintendo Switch that has a larger 7-inch OLED screen, a stand that actually works, 64 gigs of internal storage, and a wired Ethernet port on the dock that it comes with.
It's called a LAN port now? God.
A LAN port. Sorry.
Built-in wired LAN port? God, it says it right there, Dylan.
Let me get the verbiage right. LAN port. Wired LAN port, 64 GB of internal storage. Oh, and enhanced audio, apparently. Cool. I don't care.
Nobody does.
No.
Everybody is mad about this.
Well, you're going to buy it because you don't have one.
I don't have a Switch. $350 for this? This seems like a good buy.
It's $50 more, which I get. It's got
but it's
a
OLED.
better stand. It's got an OLED screen.
Right.
It's got a new dock. So, yeah, the $50 increase
This isn't
makes
for
sense.
you guys. You guys have Switches. This is for me. This is a new reason
people
for
getting into Switches.
Right.
Yeah, this
I'm
is.
gonna
I mean,
buy
and
this. Absolutely.
This isn't the first time that we've seen a new Switch model that didn't have any fanfare behind it, because there was the Rev 2 of the Switch, which just had the longer battery life, was the exact same thing. But it was just for people who haven't got a Switch yet. They were just like, here, let's quietly release this newer version. But I mean, this one they're advertising a little more, which I get. But like, it's weird because it's not the Switch Pro.
No.
But it's definitely Like, I get it for people who play the Switch on the go a lot. This is, like, perfect for them.
Bigger
But
screen,
as someone,
everything.
yeah, the bigger screen, the OLED screen, which will help in sunlight. The enhanced audio, I imagine, is, again, like, just directed to playing it in, like, loud areas. The more internal storage, so you don't have to carry around as many cartridges. The LAN port is strange. The LAN port, I really hope they just release the ability to buy a new dock to replace the dock that you already
I'm sure
have.
they will. I guarantee they will. They didn't
Can you do
announce
that
it.
already? Because I don't
you
think
can already
you can.
buy just the dock.
Okay.
So I
didn't
don't
think you
see
could.
them not doing it.
Yeah.
My big problem with this is the Joy-Cons are the same Joy-Cons. They haven't fixed anything with them. I don't know if you know much, Shank, but the Joy-Cons have had drifting issues since launch. They have yet to fix that issue.
Yeah.
You can now you can send in past warranty drifting Joy-Cons and they'll fix them for free. But why not just take this opportunity to make new Joy-Cons that work?
That's the thing, like controller drift, like I have a controller right here, is an old DualShock 4 that has drift on both of the analog sticks to the point where I just need to solder a new stick box onto it. Like that's a problem that a lot of controllers have had for a while, but like especially the Joy-Cons, it's tough.
You guys have drift. I have the opposite on one of my PS4s. I can't run forward. Like it just will stop moving, and then if I like go to dodge forward, it'll just dodge backwards because it's not getting the input to go forward. But
you should repair that.
I own 4 controllers. Why would I repair a PS4 controller when PS5 is out?
Yeah, I've been getting DualSense controllers, and like this one has just been sitting here because I have the stick boxes for it, but A, I don't have a soldering iron right now, and B, I don't like these anymore because the DualSense is so good.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say about the new
just last
Switch.
note, available October 8th.
Cool.
Price tag $349.99.
Cool. So yeah, if you're like Shank and don't have a Switch, this is perfect for you. Go pick one.
It's a good one to buy to get into. If you have a Switch,
on-ramping. Yeah.
Yep.
If you have a Switch, there's no need to buy one, but I will because it's what I do.
So the last thing we're going to talk about is the new games coming to PlayStation Now in July, which are Red Dead Redemption 2, God of War, Neo 2, Judgment, Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, NASCAR Heat 5, Moving Out, and God of War. Some pretty good games in there. Yeah. I don't know some of them, but Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, probably the sleeper hit of the generation.
You're not wrong.
So I do gotta say, I mean, I'm happy about Red Dead 2 being available, God of War being available, Neo being available. In the last 3 or 4 months, every major hit that PlayStation has come out with in the last 6 to 7 years has been on PlayStation Now.
Mm-hmm.
Where you could download it for free. So...
Well, PlayStation Now is the streaming service.
Right.
Not...
Is PlayStation Plus the one where you can download them for free?
Yes.
Yes.
Are these only available
free,
for July?
You're still paying it. No, so they're being added in July.
They're being added, but the caveat is Red Dead's only available till November 1st, and Judgment is only available until October 4th. So they will be taken off the streaming service.
That just seems skimpy.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a conversation we've had before where Xbox Game Pass, this is PlayStation's version of it. It's just not as good.
Right.
Was Horizon on Now last week or last month?
I believe it's on there still. That game is like, you can get that game so many different places.
Right.
But I don't know. PlayStation Now has always kind of been like a strange thing to me because it's not like Game Pass where you just pay a subscription and you download all these games. It's a streaming thing, which is just immediately restrictive for people who don't have good internet connections. I don't know why you would do it this way. It's and continue to, especially because like I cut this out, but I was trying to, when I was reading the article, I was like, is this new games for PS Plus or PlayStation Now? And Shank just confused them as well. So it's like they need to get their branding straight because nobody really knows like what these things
I'm not
do
gonna
or
lie,
are.
we run a gaming channel, and Plus and Now were the same thing to me for the longest time.
And I'm pretty sure even if you, I think there's a model of PlayStation Plus that gives you access to PlayStation Now, but you don't need PlayStation Plus to have a subscription to PlayStation Now.
No.
It's very confusing. But it's cool
I
that
don't
those
get
games
it. There's
are
a model.
coming to
There's
it.
I'm excited that Red Dead's there and Neo's there because I'd like to play. But I've played Red Dead. I'd like to play Neo. But I guess I don't get why not make your old games that aren't selling anymore available on a subscription service. Like there is a model available that is working.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why not
You
use
just
that?
want the PlayStation Game Pass, which I agree with. And it's because I think it's just because PlayStation they're more protective about their stuff and they want to drip feed it as opposed to Xbox where it's just like, here's everything, which like, one is good for gamers and one is good for companies.
Well, yeah, I get that, but if it's only available on PlayStation, like live service, live whatever, Battle Pass, then
Battle Pass.
you know what I mean? Like if it's available on their service only, then it's not like it's not still a PlayStation exclusive. It's just instead of purchasing the game,
Right.
you're renting access to the game.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the drum I keep on beating as we go forward. They need to get with the times and compete, or otherwise Xbox is going to take the lead.
That's fair. All right. Well, that's pretty much all the news that we got for this week. We'll be back next week with a lot of. I feel like news has been dying down recently because E3 just happened. So who knows? Let us know in the comments what you guys think about all the stuff that we talked about today. Other than that, I'm Dylan. That's Houston. That's Shank. This has been absolutely PlayStation and Steam Gamers. We'll see y'all next time.
See ya.
See ya.